Okay, everyone. It is time for the oh wow. Actually that banner came down, didn't it? Oh, we already got it going. All right. Actually, I might have to raise this a bit. Evening, everyone. I am back to working on this big banner piece here. Got started a little late tonight. That's why I moved the time up to 8:30, but got it going a little early just in case. I promise Chatty on his hair isn't going to be gray like that. But anyway, a lot going on there. I don't know. That's going to make it a little hard to say. All that nice texture. And the colors are coming along. So a lot of what I'm doing today is just working on this piece and getting it done. Getting it done so it's ready to, maybe I am going to have to lean it back a bit. I think that'll make it easier to say. Probably, but that's really a glare on the top of it. Better? No, that's getting rid of all the texture. Well, anyway, wow. I love how the see, but if I have it that low, I'm not going to be able to see what I'm doing there. All right, well, it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I am moving along with this, so back to painting it today. Actually, everything you see here, beyond the outlines that were done before and the molding paste were just done today. Did a whole bunch of painting today. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it was quite a few hours of it today. So let's say now I gotta mix more paint. Going through a lot of this palette paper. So I need white, yellow, and magenta again. But more white. Anyway, it's interesting to see it coming together like this. I haven't done a painting this big, maybe ever. I've done some that were half the width, but this is big for me. Okay. Gonna see what I can do here with this. Get that one going, the magenta again. So yeah, it's I did a color test on the computer before I had painted it, and I did the color test a while ago. So titanium white. Golden's acrylics, by the way. That's what I use. Golden for acrylics, Holbein for watercolors. Those my preferred brand. All right. You know what? Why not? We can come and zoom in here while I'm mixing paint. I got this nice, camera that can do all this up and down nonsense, and I never use it during one of these streams. Or very rarely. You know. should have waited on the white before I got the balance of the magenta and yellow in right. That's okay though. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oh no. Actually, I think I'm in the right one. I think that is the right amount of yellow. I might need a lot more white though. Anyway. Funny thing about this is when you're got all these tubes out, it's hard to find which one is which, even with the little stripes on them for their color. Now, what I'm doing here is I have some sections of the red section that need to be lighter. So I'm going to give them a paler pinkish red. These are all just base colors too, because once I get the highlights going and then the colored pencil, a lot of that stuff will change color as well. All right, always got to keep them wet while I'm working, and then we're going to come up again to the full thing. Here we go. Things like Orlok, Shaman Cthulhu, the face on this guy. Painted ones. Later. So. I just got to make sure I got the right consistency of water to paint. Sometimes a challenge. Now, it's not going to be bright, but that's not my intention at this point. I'm just looking to get it slightly lighter because I probably will use the colored pencils a lot for brightening these areas. It's just to give a color that's slightly contrasting. At first, I wasn't sure about using the dark blue ink on the outlines of this section, but I think it turned out good. I think it was the right choice in the end. It's a nice cool breeze out right now. Oh, it's also how warm these lights make it. That lamp really does a job on washing out the whole side of it. Can't see because there's a whole. See at that angle, it gets a little better. I guess this red is like really catching a lot of light, which maybe is good because in the end, my intention is for this to help me get more attention at shows. Having this as my backdrop. Will it work? Yet to be seen. I hope so. That's my hope, is that it will. The idea is because there's so much going on, I wanted to keep it relatively monochromatic all over. Thanks, Len. I appreciate that. I'm doing my best with it. Again, I'm gonna have to go back in and darken some areas, but it's and the light's really, really like messing up seeing some of those details. But again, I really hope it works to get more attention when I'm at shows because I need something to get more people over to the table. I'm hoping the colors and layout of this will do the trick. Mhm. Damn. I know I'm gonna have to go all over that again. So much paint today going on. Ugh. Thing is with Omri, that's this character here, like I don't know if I guess I can make some of her metal lighter, but because I don't want to overdo it. I want every character to just have a little bit of this light on it. Now I'm thinking of it. I don't want it to be overpowering because I still want them to be fairly monochromatic. um, so Super Jersey for me was not that great. Um, I know there were some people that had a successful show. I really didn't. I didn't feel like I had good traffic where I was. Thanks. I'm trying again. I'm just trying to keep it more monochromatic. Usually I go crazy with the colors and start doing like all kinds of stuff, but I just feel like with how much detail I have in this, I don't want it to get distracting. And then people just don't know what to make of the image behind me. You it's an attention grabber more than anything else. And when it's on the banner, of course, my name and everything will be up at the top. Oh, about yeah, that's the thing is I don't want to say I'm trying not to put it on the show because I really do feel like they were advertising like crazy. I just don't know what happens. This was not It didn't feel very well attended. Traffic for me was not good. I had other friends that didn't do well, but like I said, some that did. Yeah, well, I don't usually work this big. I try to keep everything 11 by 17 and under just because one, it pretty much works with every publication, not just comics. And two, it fits on my scanner bed. I'm going to have to do this in like, I don't know, 6 or 8 sections just to piece it together, which I've done in the past. I mean, back when I didn't have a scanner bed that was big enough, I used to have to do it, but now I try to avoid that. Some of how I have to stand to do this makes it a little difficult to see what I'm doing while I'm painting. Oh yeah, you can still see what's going on there. It's just that lighting. I feel like the lighting is really fighting with what I'm doing. So yeah, the idea was always to keep it monochromatic front and back, well, foreground and background, shoddy on it in full colors, but the foreground would be much darker than the background, reds and purples dominantly, you know. I was going to go full reds, but when I did the color test on the computer, I wound up with a more of a purple in the front, and that seemed to work pretty well. So, you know, I'm gonna stick with that. It's 20 by 30. It's the size of a full illustration board that I bought at Blick some months back. Originally, I was gonna just cut it down and try to just go like the narrow equivalent of the 36 wide. But I don't know. I might decide later that I want to go the full length anyway. So I just let it spread out and do its thing. Wow. Well, I got to work. Even though it gets blown up and it's on fabric, you know, so there's some room for error or whatever. I want this to at least be somewhat close to size. Like I want it to be larger, just so not too much integrity is getting like lost on it when it gets blown up. But you know, I mean, when this is going to be like, what is it? I think I haven't decided if I want to go 92 or 96 inches tall, even though the banner stand is like 10 feet. I don't want to go the whole 10 feet. It'll sit at 10 feet tall for sure, or I can get it to go that tall. But yeah, I think you know, I wanted something that at least was large so that when I blew it up again, it would still, even on the fabric, not lose too much. But the nice thing about printing on fabric and such is, like, you usually don't it doesn't show all the, like, I don't know, there's something about the texture of the paper where, like, um, anything you would get with blowing up something normally, just it's not seen as much. I suppose it would be true of a billboard to a certain extent, though, on like a pixelated image. But I scan at 600 DPI as well, which helps. But I think if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these places only take 150 DPI on there when they print these things. So, if I scan at 600, and I scale down to even 300, even if I blow it up, it'll still look good. Anyway, oh man. Yeah, I probably want his sword to be. That'd probably be a good idea. Hmm. So much of this I'm gonna have to go back over again. It almost feels like all that inking I did on the underpoint painting was not worth it, but you know what? It helps with the overall image in the end. Layers can just add so much texture to a thing. um, well, hopefully people will be able to find me with this behind me. I don't know though. Maybe it's not enough. I'm joking. Oh, all right. Maybe a little bit more. It's so weird painting with acrylics sometimes when I'm used to mostly doing it with watercolors. Although I tried to water some of them down to make them look like my watercolors sometimes look. Thanks, Jim. I've been working on it the last couple of weeks, although last week I was waiting for the molding paste elements to dry, which is that 3D stuff at the top. But yeah, man, I hope your talk went well. I hope the convention was good and everything. And then what was I gonna do next here? Right, I think a grayer, darker element for, well, I think, yeah. All right. Let's figure this out. Oh, good. I'm glad. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't see it. It's a disappointment. I really wanted to make the convention. My schedule is not allowing for as much freedom as I was hoping this year. So here's to hoping I can make better changes in 2026. Hang on a minute. I think I need to just move my laptop over here so I can see these comments coming in easier. I have it next to me on Cyrilla's chair, but you know, she's going to want to come over too. Hang on a second. Now what's going on? No, I don't want to share my referral link. For Cyrilla, it's jumped over to here to see it better. And then she's feeling left out. She can come up. She'll make it at some point. All right, we're back to mixing color though. Coming down here again to the palette. It's this remarkable looking thing here. Okay. That's still wet. Yes, it is. How about that? Probably gonna need some. What did I do with that? Dun, dun. Take some of that, but I need cobalt oil. Oh, man. This is how it goes. Just one mixture at a time. Oh man, that's stuck. I've been using this all day too. There we go. Some of this paint is dry, of course, so I don't have to worry about it like mixing unintentionally mixing. Actually, I don't know where she is. I think when I'm working on this painting, she doesn't seem to come up as much. It's almost like she knows there's just not as much room up here. I don't know. I think I need more yellow too. This one's almost gone, but I have another one on standby. Which is not always the case. Sometimes I leave an art store and forget to buy a paint color. And the worst is when I buy one that I already had just bought the last time. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not going to need that paint for a while because got a whole bunch of it. All right, there we go. The thing is, I need it to be darker than the background without being too. Well, I might have to add black. I don't know. Because I don't want it to become deep as much as a color. Well, we're pretty much done with this yellow, so I will risk mixing it. Very careful not to do this. I don't even do this with my watercolors. That's how my watercolors look so bright. I don't just mix colors in the palette the same way a lot of artists do. I let them stay separated. Magenta, and I'm going to have to go find my Mars black in a minute. Now it feels like a Bob Ross special, right? Because I'm just like talking about the colors I'm mixing. Except he's usually using his little brush. He didn't use a palette knife, did he? Not that I remember. I guess he did for, yeah, he did for some painting, like when he painted the, no, he didn't use a palette knife. He used one of those like putty knives that you put like spackle on a wall with. Unless it was just a very large. Did he, Rob? I thought it was a spackle knife. I didn't think it was not a trowel, but like I thought it was more for putting like a putty knife, He could be wrong. I haven't watched him in a while. All right, yeah, we're gonna have to get black. It's not gonna get dark enough. Not at least without me adding some of this in. And we need it for all the outlines up there. All right. Got some black going. Says Mars black. I've been trying to pay more attention to what colors I'm buying too. There might be certain colors that are leaving my color palette because I can mix them using other colors. It's just becoming, I don't know, like I might be sacrificing, it might be too much. I might be sacrificing my ultramarine blue for cobalts across the board. Because I might just be able to mix an ultramarine. Same thing goes for the cadmium red. I might just switch out to magenta. Because I might be able to get it without it. I'm getting crazy into color theory more. He used a few different palette knives and shapes. Yeah, they look a little big compared to what I'm used to. I have a big one in my side bin over there, but it's not like the ones that he used to do those mountains with. What's Len got here? Love watching the process. Sorry, I'm not talking. Oh, well, no. Don't be sorry, Len. You can, of course, attend to what you need to. I might have mixed a little too much paint, but I was trying to use what I had before as the base. Anybody who ever thinks they got too much paint, what you can always do is chop what you got. It may seem like a waste, but what are you going to do? What are you really going to do anyway? Besides, I might be able to use that still. This might be good for it. We're going to find out in a minute. When I go to, man, got a little too crazy with that. Let's see what was under there. My first oil painting was from a Bob Ross paint kit. Oh, that's cool. I mean, I don't dislike it. There are some artists that get funny about him, but it's like, he was just trying to teach people that anybody could paint. I don't see anything wrong with that. Not everybody's going to be a master painter, but you don't have to be. I wouldn't even say I am. I'm trying to get better with it all the time, but I have my limitations too. I don't know. I don't know if it will be dark enough now. Now I'm second guessing this. Let's find out. Let's go over here by this throne and see how that's gonna make it look. Not much of a difference between what's there already with the black. Should it be darker? That's a good question. That is a very good question. Actually, I might be able to do the background elements with that and then darken it for the characters just so they stand out a little better. That might be the way to go. I think I do want a different brush though, because this one doesn't really have much of a point, which I'm going to need when I get to other areas. Oh, right. And I said, let me just think about this first. I think that might be necessary. Hang on. I do think I should do the background on whatchamacallit. We're just going to go right into it. I think that this might be better with that slightly muted color just to get it to stand out from the other background section. So this isn't the same color as what I'm putting down in the shadows, but it is the one that I decided that I wasn't going to use because it wasn't dark enough. The one that I had cut the second batch off of, so for all the planning I did on the computer with the colors, I still now, I haven't done I've always intended to do color roughs on the computer, but I've never done it before, only because I usually just work a little bit more intuitively, but I really wanted to make sure these colors worked for this painting before I went ahead with it. Wanted to make sure that red is going to be the thing to do, and then it wouldn't clash with the rest of the table. I just think this bit is needed to make it stand out from the sky part of the background a little better. And because of the variations in texture and color, it'll just kind of enhance that three-dimensional look of the molding paste there. Which, people really like that stuff. I think I've said it before. They just get excited. Like people that come to my table and they see that 3D texture on things. And since I found out I can use it with my watercolors too, it might start showing up in other work more. All thanks to Japanese artist Sayami Kojima, who used it or uses it liberally in her paintings. That's how I found out about it. And I found her work because she used to work on the Castlevania series for a period of time, from the Symphony of the Night on through is it Darkness, maybe? Uh, Something like that. You know, before the Netflix series, long before the Netflix series. No hate to it. I love that there's a Castlevania series out there. I always find it funny when I meet Castlevania fans on the road now and they're like, "Oh, it's a game?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm not the type to get uh elitist and gatekeep, so I don't care that they knew it from the series. I'm surprised that like people don't know it was a game first, but Castlevania the game's popularity is kind of weird in the West, which is funny because it's based on so many Western things, but it's more popular in Japan than it is in the United States. Maybe, maybe that Netflix show will change that. Okay, yeah, that stands out a little better. That does. All right, so now we got to get those outlines done. See, it'll still keep the texture and it'll show up a little better now because we'll have some variations in color. It's always a weird thing with that. You don't want the colors to get too crazy in the molding paste because then it can start looking weird. But you want there to be enough contrast so that you can see what's going on. Hmm. That one still doesn't look like it's got enough of a point for me. Let's see. Dip it in some water. Oh, you know what? When it's wet, it's looking all right. Okay. Back to this bit here. Well, here, let's work in a spot where it's a little bit more notable when I'm putting this down. I don't lean on my paintings this much all the time, but well, I can't say that's true. There have been plenty of times where I have like pulled up my hand and actually that's considerably washed. I went out to grab dinner with my folks before this. I don't usually see them on Tuesday nights, but that's why I was a little late starting this. But they were out. They wanted to grab something. I said, "What the hell?" It was only 5:30, but didn't get back till a little late. So I rescheduled to 8:30 and then started this earlier. Then I don't know when did I start? 8:15 or something. Anyway, unimportant. What I was trying to say is I don't usually lean on the paintings, but then again, I get a lot of paint on the side of my hand, so eh, I can't really say I don't lean on painting. And for some reason, I get like dumber confidence when it comes to the acrylic stuff because I'm like, oh, it dries faster than watercolor, and I don't have to worry about the oils quite as much, or at least I pretend I don't have to worry about them quite as much. Hmm, probably not the case though. All right, so let's. A lot of the extra details that we're going to go on with colored pencil. So, a lot's happening, but there's still a lot more to go with this painting after all this is done. Oh, you know what? I got some perfect examples for you guys, some previews, which I wasn't going to unveil yet, but, give you something else to look at for a second. I had to finish these the other day. So, you can see, oh, wait, the other one's on the scanner bed still. Ugh. But you can see how, you get a lot of colored pencil details and stuff in them. So, same thing will happen with this. Obviously, just not on toned paper, but it'll act like toned paper. It'll just be different colors. Oh. And then there's all kinds of lighting effects and everything else. This painting. I think I've already been working on this painting. I'm gonna guess because the last number I put in, because I track a lot of the jobs I work on and stuff, just so I can, quote things better when somebody asks me to do something. I think the last number I had was over 15 hours. So I'm going to say, based on today's time in, I got to be around 20 or more already. Which actually, for how much detail is in here, I guess doesn't feel like that much to me, but it's a lot. Damn, I'm basically just re-going over a whole bunch of lines. Not my favorite part of it. Going back over stuff I already did. But I can also add little details to some of it, some extra shadows and such. Like on the crown here. Right. I'm doing the characters with a darker color still. So we got to do the background. Oh man, the chains. I got to go back over the chains again. They took forever. Oh, they took forever. Thing is, at this point in the painting, I really got to do the background first and then move my way into the, making Chadiana look better and then moving into that foreground part and darkening all those blacks, which I might add a tinge of blue or purple into. I haven't decided yet. Still feel like maybe I need not a better brush, but one that just has a better point. It's not really the brush so much as it's like I'm clumping up making the paints a little thicker. And of course, when it's thicker, it is harder to keep the brush pointy during that. Also, part of the reason I'm going with the red, besides trying to stand out, is I needed an image that would work well at both horror shows and pop culture / comic shows. So it became a choice between red or purple. And although purple worked with a lot of the stuff I have on the table already, red stood out better. So red it was. Yeah, see, I don't know. It's bothering me. It's bothering me that I don't have a perfect point on this paintbrush right now. Just because I'm weird like that. I guess I could be a little further up. Oh, right. I was supposed to do those windows as glowing too. I'll do that later. They were supposed to have a fire color to them too. But I'll get it in. Oh, I missed a line there. Oof. Imagine that. Imagine that. Missed a whole line. Well, not a whole line, part of a line. Relax, JM. It's not that serious. So apparently I was going to leave that for some fire right there. This dragon, man, that was the chains may have taken the longest as far as like just sheer time spent on it, but this dragon gave me so much grief. I don't know why. I just couldn't get the position I liked. And then when I put this wing over the uh, sunnish moon here, I didn't know I was going to texture it at the time. So kind of got a little funky on this side. But I kept most of the shape around. for me to be able to come in and probably need to layer it on, but yeah, that one will come back in. See, I can't get it much closer or anything. Do, 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 do. Mhm. Mhm. God, I wish those lights weren't fighting me so much. Would be better if I do that. If I take it down a little bit on that side, maybe. Yeah, it's so weird. Like that color is really bright. Almost like having a fluorescent light in the camera. See, I wanted the dragon to mimic the silhouette of the bats on the other side. So that's why he's in silhouette. Or she. Could be a female dragon. I didn't really make the first one. Are there dragons in Chadiana's world? Yes, there are. Does she come into contact with one? I have not decided on that part yet. I wouldn't say it's a major feature of her story. So, if she did, it would be for some one off adventure. Man, that really messed with the shape a bit. It's okay. Is that fighting it? There might be too much of a glare up there. Not just the lights on the table, it's the lights behind me too. Just a light. Oh man. I might come back to him later. Just because I might want the picture on my phone so I can reference exactly how that wing was. I can see a lot of it, but not all of it. Let's go over by the bats, which have almost disappeared on the camera. Wow, look at that. What's interesting is okay, look at those bats there. Oh, there they go. Like what? Like it's so weird when the camera's there, you can't even see them, but then you lean it just at the right angle, and then suddenly all that. Yeah, this color's really, really competing with the ability of this camera to pick it up. Are they more noticeable now? You can kind of see that wing coming in. I'm just finding this fascinating right now because I didn't use a special kind of paint. It's just cadmium yellow and magenta. Regular golden paint. Acrylic. I still can't see what I'm doing over there. Let's see. If I get rid of that. And just trying to make it that you guys can see what I'm doing. Otherwise, it's really uninteresting. Ah, I'll never get this lighting right for these. Oh man, that's really rough to see though. What if I lower this? Better? No, it's not better at all. All right. Better. Okay. Some of those are going to take a few layers. Oh man, that's right. The dragon had a tail too that went out there. And I really gave myself a job to do on that one. All right. Definitely comments periodically. Okay. And I drew that one triangle and we're going to have to put this back on. I drew that one triangle and just with the paint over the top of the ink. So it is going to take a little bit to cover it up. Little Cirilla hairs everywhere. Like this, maybe? Hmm? You're guessing the large circle is like The Destroyer by Frank Frazetta. Um, you mean the one in the back here? Good question. Why can't I think of that painting? I might have been unintentionally inspired by it. But the church here from the Kirkland horror, which also has circles on it. So I don't know. My God. This is some work having to bend over this thing for so many hours. I'm actually standing right now and holding the tripod legs like in place with my foot while I get this nice angle so you guys can see me painting over top of that somewhat because it's still not very clear, is it? No, you can kind of see it though. A little bit. And then I realized Ryan Santos has been here. I was reading it as Rob's comments before for some reason. Ryan, if you're still here, it was good seeing you over the weekend. If not, I'm sorry that I didn't acknowledge you before. However, whether Ryan Santos is here or not, you guys should check out his work. He's an incredible painter, much better than I am. So, if you think I'm good, he's he's special. Very good. He was with me at the comic show and had exactly the same experience as I did, which was a shame. Oh my God, this is taking forever. Let me try one of these. Might feel better about it. The paint in that circle matches the clothing or whatever that upturned is by Chade. Oh yeah, well, I have a tendency to reuse that pattern quite a bit. That like kind of spiked pattern. I don't know. So yeah, it does mirror it a bit. Actually, there was another piece I did with Chadiana in it that had that kind of like pattern around the sun. So I said, what the hell? I'll put it back there in this one because I kind of liked how it looked. Could have switched to this brush before. I have a lot more control over the point of it. Oh man. Well, gonna have to switch it up a little bit, guys. I gotta. My back's killing me standing over it. Dun, dun, dun. Ah, that's fine, Jim. I'll see you soon. Have a good night. And, again, congrats on the talk. Oops. All right. Mostly covered that up. Such fine little details right now. That church was a pain to paint when I did it on the cover of the book, too. But sometimes a little patient and seeing it through end in a good result. All right. Feel like there should be a glow coming from that window, though. I might have to do that bit later. Just because I don't know if I want it to have a blue tint or a slate green. Because Cirilla's eyes are green, so if I gave her green eyes and that green, even though it's a compliment, just a little touch to bring it together. Of course, it won't mirror the jack-o'-lantern, but those flames will. All right. Actually, there's a couple of Kirkland horror references on this one. just so tedious. Mm. Ah, best part. Going into that coffin. The coffin. Can't believe I'm re-outlining that stuff. You know what, though? Just to kick the can down the road a bit, I'm going to do this negative space between Chadia's arm and hair. Just because I don't want to do that yet. A coffin. And coffin and its chains. Now what I might do. Gentleman Cthulhu, at least. Right? Yeah. Okay. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I forgot I had that other color there. Why am I not using it? Why am I not using the one that I mixed that was not as dark as that? That could be used for things like their outfits. And other things like shadows that aren't so dark. Hang on. Hey, I avoided it. I didn't have to do the thing right away. Coffin. Yay, me. Actually, on my previous banner art, I put Count Orlok in there, and he was in dominantly red. There's just a little bit of white, reds, and black to give him that he faded into the background a bit. Da, 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 da. Now the bigger problem. Why is that breaking apart? Why is that breaking? There we go. That's more like it. The even bigger problem I have when I do acrylic paintings is I don't want it to, like the stuff I've mixed, to dry, so I tend to go for longer sessions. You know, watercolors, I can just reactivate what I mixed later. Even if I end the stream, there's a good possibility that I'll still be sitting here painting until I at least get all that stuff done. And I still got a commission and other work to do this week too. Before I go to Connecticut for Free Comic Book Day. It's a shame. I don't really know. There's a couple of owners, shop owners in New Jersey that I know, but not well enough that I've been invited to the stores. And I think they already have people that they usually have in for Free Comic Book Day. So yeah, I always wind up traveling to a different store. To a different state for a different store. I don't mind though. I don't mind at all. Probably a Cirilla hair that got stuck in there, but oh well. Had some cool visitors tonight. I can always tell by who's liked the video, even if they watched it for 2 seconds. You know, saw it. They were like, okay, that looks good. Like video, move on. Which is okay too. I'm just having fun now. Okay. Da, 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 da. It's weird doing all these guys in red like this, though. I'm so used to working, and I guess it's not too much different than working in black and white, but there's still like a color element to it, so it throws me a bit. Yeah. I want to do this again like I want a hole in the head. Okay. Probably could add some more wood green though. Oh, wait, I'm using the wrong one. Damn. Okay. Back to the darker one. There you go. Thought it was watered down for a second. I was like, oh, I like that. I'll keep it watered down. Nope. Using the wrong color set. Just feel like it gets too careful. Gets too precise. Doing all this brushwork. I don't know what it is. When I ink, I don't get this crazy, but when I start painting, I want to get more precise, and I don't know if that helps me work any faster. Well, clearly it doesn't, but Doing this on a live stream is so much better though, because then I can't be left to my thoughts while I'm working on it. Those can get a bit intrusive sometimes. All right. And if it blends in a bit, that's okay. I'm doing all this work and then I'm going to go back over it with colored pencils. What a nightmare I signed myself up for with this stuff. I should have kept some of that white because the chains really should have a gleam to them. Even in the monochromatic background here. I will add that in later. It'll be all right. You know, maybe I should. I mean, I had to ink the chains, but man, this feels like extra work. I'm whinging too much. Do, 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 do. Actually, this bit should probably be like that. Yeah, I think so. Right, 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 right. I'm not sure what I'm doing here or why. Just trying to avoid working on that coffin with the chains. Oh man. The thing is, it looks so good when it's done. That's what it is. All that detail typically looks good when it's done. Chains just have a lot going on. I can do the wood grain much easier because it's just like so much smoother to put on. And, you know. Actually, you know what? This might be one of those cases where I might want to do the colored pencil real quick first. Don't regret your decision, Jay. Just go for it. Why would this be better? Because any chain lines will need to cover that up. But you can kind of see what the colored pencil will do. It actually is less contrast here than it is on the camera. But you guys can't see that right now. Then I can do that and not. Have to do it again. Okay. Yep, that works a lot better. Then I won't have to do it again. Mm. Oop. Kind of a little gloppy on that paintbrush end. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. You know, if anybody ever wants book covers or illustrations, I am available. I know it doesn't have to be this complex. In fact, I would advise against it. I don't know what I'd have to charge for something like this, but I think I heard cat feet hitting, cat paws hitting the ground. I don't know. Did we? No, I don't hear her coming yet. So maybe Cirilla isn't coming. It would be great if I just had like a shorthand for chains instead of this, but you know, I don't make my life easy. Man. I still feel like that light is very much competing with seeing the whole thing. Because when I look at the camera, it just looks so different. Well, when I look at the phone screen, I mean. Can't take it. Don't want to keep going. Gotta take a break from chains. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. Oh my God. They are brutal. They are really brutal. Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, they don't take that long and they're actually not that hard to draw. What it is like the sustained amount of concentration to get them done. That's what it is. Hey, really? How you doing down there? It's not coming up here. She's going by the window behind me. Actually, if I wanted to try to get the cat to do cat paintings, this would be the perfect time for her to come up here, but In that sense. Not in the me trying to get my painting done sense, though. That would not be good for. Right, Rilla? Now she's drinking over by the sink. Do. Why is it? This still feels like it's not done. I think there's a few spots here that he didn't touch. See, that coffin with the chains didn't take forever, JM. It just was a lot to concentrate on at once. I think I'm good with it for now. Doesn't mean it's done, but it's done enough for the moment. All right, Rob, you have a good night. I might be finishing this after hours anyway. At least the red part. No. But who knows? Maybe I'll do the old college thing and just stay up all night finishing it. Who can really say what will happen when I'm left to my own devices? All right. Wait a second. Right. This is not what I was going to do. And to get this going. Oh, Cirilla, no. No. Don't go in there. Now she's trying to drink the water. She tries to drink the paint water. I don't know why. But then I gotta make sure she doesn't. She's a smart cat, except for that part. Hate to put her on blast during my live stream, but right, lady, you just gotta learn to not drink the paint water. I don't know why it's so fascinating. I'm trying to go to the right over there to rinse out my brush, and it's not there. I figure out what I was doing there for a second. All right. Oh man. Gorilla hair. right up on my paintbrush. Oh. Okay, everyone. Ooh. Hang on a moment. All right, it is 10 o'clock, so I'm going to be ending the stream, but just so we can get a decent look at this. Again, she won't be gray. She'll be getting some black back in that hair and everything. You just stay right there, Cirilla. Right? So, yeah, I'm going to be working on it a little bit more tonight before I go to bed. Try to get some more in the details of these reddish areas. And then I'll be back next week. This might be done before next week. In fact, I hope it is, but I'll be able to show it off. Maybe that's what I'll do at the beginning of the stream if it's not done. All right. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. So, that said, I'm going to take off for the night. And, I hope to see some of you back next week. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at JM DeSantis. And, yeah. Oh, yeah. Free comic book day at, what is that? I'm sorry. Most Excellent Comics and Gaming in Enfield, Connecticut. And then I'll be in Baltimore the next weekend at Monster Mania. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good one.